What's up, guys? This is your boy Lord Lunar Prime, aka the Water Twin, here with my Nationals recap, guys. So in this National WCQ 2013, I went ahead and chose to play Mermails for the event. It was a pretty close tie between Mermails and taking Giskis or Gigas to Nats. I felt like both decks had a lot of potential, but I went ahead and made a meta call and just went with Mermails because, you know, they're Mermails. They just they got a really impressive game 1 and game 2 and so forth. So I just went ahead and went with Mermails. So without further ado, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into a couple things that I picked up at Nationals: the deck profile, the extra deck, and the side deck. And after that, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the rounds themselves. All right, guys. So I went ahead and did. I dropped on the 6th round. I did a 4-6 drop. Then I lost twice, and I just said I just dropped after that. As far as for the event, there's a lot of things to do at Nationals about it being on the Navy Pier. You know, the Navy Pier is pretty much like a fair that they have going on. I guess it's really, really big and it's jumping during the summertime. So then we got Ferris wheel, funnel cakes, boat rides and stuff like that, and the beach and stuff. So it was pretty cool. But enough about that. If you guys want to check out anything that we did, like video vlogs on the way up to Nationals, feel free to check out Unique Alliance TV. I have a description for it somewhere down in the bottom. You guys go check out the video vlogs that me and Lord Solar did on our way to Nats. But until then, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this deck profile. Alright, guys, like I said, I want to point out a couple things that I picked up at Nationals. It was these tokens, not necessarily, I'm sorry, not tokens, but the WCQ sleeves for 2013. They're this green color. Last year, I believe there was blue color sleeves. And along to go with it, guys, if you top and actually with the Nats, some people probably didn't even pick up their Konami ID card that they issue out every year. So last year, you guys got a blue pack of sleeves to match the ID card, and this year we got green, as you can see right here. So these just a couple things that I picked up while I was in Nats. So it's free. Like I said, they give you the sleeves, and of course you get the beautiful Mermail mat with Miss Megalo and Abyss Mermail lead. So it's cool. All right, on to the deck profile, guys. All right. At Nationals, I had a couple things I did want to pick up besides the mat and the sleeves, and that was German copies of Mermail Abyss Lead and Mermail Abyss Megalo. So to start the deck profile off, I run one copy of Mermail Abyss Lead and triple copies of Mermail Abyss Megalo. As you can see, I got these guys German, thanks to a very good friend of mine. So I got them German, and I just like the way the German cards look. I don't know if it's the ink they use or whatever, but the secret rare German cards, they tend to be a little darker, and the secret, the rarity of them just really pop out at you. So that's Mermail Abyss Lead and Mermail Abyss Megalo. Run at 3. Now in the OCG, I did see that they cut Megalo down to 2, just for, I believe, utility and a little more speed of the deck. I felt like it could be done. I have done it in initial testing, but probably like 2 or 3 days before the event, I went ahead and added back the Mermail Abyss Megalo back to 3. So that's Mermail Abyss Megalo, guys. Next up, we have 3 copies of Mermail Abyssius, staple in the deck. 1 copy of Mermail Abyss Stirs. Now, Mermail Abyss Stirs, guys, is pretty much the first time you see me play with this guy. He is absolutely phenomenal, guys. In one of my matchups, he actually, I picked the Heavy Infantry Destroyer Ophion, and then I got and I retrieved the Penguin Soldier out of my graveyard. Of course, this was game 2. I retrieved the Penguin Soldier out of my graveyard. Now, guys, they did change the ruling on Mermail Abyss Sturge. I'm sorry, that when you pitch Heavy Infantry, you cannot target Heavy Infantry to come back to your hand and do the, and his effect activates in the hand. So there's a lot of rulings been going around with Mermail Abyss Sturge, but that's how they ruled it in YC. I mean, not YCS, but in Nationals, that you do not get the effect on Mermail of Heavy Infantry if you pitch him and then you put Infantry back in your hand. Matter of fact, you can't even target that monster to put it back in your hand. Alright, guys? So that's Mermail Abyss Sturge. Alright. Next up, 2 copies of Mermail Abyss Pike. Like I said, as usual, he's a facilitator of the deck. No need to explain there. 2 copies of Mermail Bitch Lynn. Now, I took a page out of the OCG with Lynn because they only play 2, and I think it's because you really only need 2 Mermail Bitch Lynns. The reason why I say this is because when you activate, when you're going against dragons, you're not really going to bring Lynn out unless you want to bring Lynn out on their turn and then activate it. I mean, she goes to the grave and you get a rank 7. So what I usually do when I'm playing against dragons, even if I pull double sphere, since space isn't prevalent in this format anymore, I set double sphere, and then if I'm playing dragons, they end their turn, I go my next turn, just pop out 2 level 7s, because that's going to be more useful to me in that matchup. So the 2 Lyns, they're working out pretty fine. I don't really have any regrets on cutting her to 2. So it all depends on what the ban list has in store for us if I go back to 3 or not. All right. Staple copies of Mermail Bitch Gun. She does work. On to the Mermails. To the Atlantean side. 3 copies of Atlantean Dragoons. 2 copies of Atlantean Marksmen. And 3 copies of Heavy Infantry. Alright guys, this is by far, hands down, the MVP of this event. Atlantean Heavy Infantry wants me, I played 2 Evil Swarm guys, and this guy just totally wrecked my opponent. I went from opening 1 to 2 at a time, and it was just crucial in those matchups, guys. So big thanks to Atlantean Heavy Infantry. On to the next couple cards. I only played 2 copies of DC Diva. Really, guys, to be honest, you really only need 2. And in these days of time, since Tidal was released, you're only going to need 2 copies of DC Diva. And she works out very well at 2. Alright. Up next, we have 3 copies of Tidal, Dragon Ruler Waterfalls. I love Tidal. When I see him, I usually do win that game. And he's very important in the Dragon Ruler matchup because he just allows you to get more damage on the board. He allows you to rank up into rank 7s even more. So he's just great. And even though he gets cut game 2 and 3 due to the Dragon Ruler matchup, he's I feel like on the streets and in that game 1, guys, he's very, very crucial. So I play him at 3. And some of you guys might wonder why I don't play Stream. In initial testing, like I said, initial testing, Stream was in there at 1. And like I said, I think I cut the Megalo for the Stream. And I just went back and I just started thinking about it. I just really thought about it. Stream is not better than Megalo. So I just decided to add Megalo back in, just cut the Stream back out and just play the 3 titles. Alright guys, so that's pretty much the reason why I don't play Stream. Alright, next up we have 2 copies of Maxi and 2 copies of Effect Veil. This here, guys, to answer the Dragon Ruler matchup with the Maxis and the Effect Veils. And Effect Veils to loosely get me over effects that my opponent may activate. Alright guys, so that's the monsters. Next up we have the spells. I only run 3 spells. Darko, Heavy Storm, and Monster Reborn. Alright guys, I wish I could play more, but since Tidal came into the picture, guys, Powder Avarice is a very decent card and it's very sacky, but with Tidal floating around in the graveyard, guys, he's removing monsters from the grave. I just feel like he's a little more important than the Powder Avarice. Alright, next up to the traps, I played 3 copies of Abyss Sphere, still hanging around, searching by Megalo. 2 copies of Breakthrough Skill. Sometimes I do wish it shoots up to 3. With that being said, if I was to make any changes, probably just to take out the Effect Veilers, add a Breakthrough Skill, and that 3rd Veiler might make it a Stream. Alright guys, so I kind of just put the Veilers in for this event. So that's Breakthrough Skill. Next up, 2 tech copies of Imperial Iron Wall, guys. I seen in some national coverage across the water, guys, that some guy actually top 8 with Mermails, and he used Imperial Iron Wall. This card was absolutely phenomenal, and the main board, it really helped me out. And I think round 5 when I played Dragon Player, either round 5, yeah, round 5 when I played Dragon Player, he exhausted his entire hand, and not knowing what I played, he exhausted his whole hand, put a Drago Sack on board and stuff like that. And one thing about Mermails, guys, we're reactive. So what that means, we react to our opponent's field. So a Draco sack and a couple tokens really not going to stop a well-established hand in Mermail. So I had a pretty decent hand. I cleared the board of the Draco sack, and I went on to set the Imperial Iron Wall. In turn, flipped up Imperial Iron Wall. We just had to go to game 2 because I did that game 1. He really wasn't expecting it. So game 1 I got just because I had a tech copy of Imperial Iron Wall in my main board. All right, on to the extra deck. The extra deck is pretty standard. 2 copies of Mermail Biscayos, the MVP of the deck. I made him, I think, once the whole day. So that's pretty cool. Draco Sack, I didn't make this guy at all. Matter of fact, as soon as I can get to Super Games, this guy's out. I'm going to buy me a Master Blades because Master Blades is far more superior than Draco Sack. So I might not be holding on to a Draco Sack not too much longer. Plus his price just dropped significantly, so I might be getting rid of mine. Big Eye, staple in Mermails. 1 Bahamut Shark, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 number 17 Leviathan Dragon, 1 Tip Tempo. I did make this guy against Evil Swarm. He helped me out tremendously against Evil Swarm. I detached a material from this guy and just snatched the material off Ophion, and I just proceeded on with my turn, dropping Megalo and stuff like that. So he helped out pretty much. He helped out a lot. Mermail Bitch Strike, I did summon her one time this event using what's this guy? Bahamut Shark. So she did come out this event. Zemains, used him once. Cruncil Blader, never used him. Gunneer, never used him. Black Rose, didn't use it. I did summon Catastor, and I also did use Armory on him. Alright guys, so let's go on to the sideboard. Now, my sideboard consists of 2 MSTs for randoms, 3 copies of Penguin Soldier for the Evil Swarm matchup, and it worked out phenomenally. Man, this card is great. I like this a little bit better than Snowman Eater because you get more than 1 monster. So it really helps out. At one point in time, my opponent put 2 Ophions on board. He's just feeling himself that much. I just bounced 2 on back. I mean, bounced both of those guys back to the deck. 2 copies of Errata Pandemic Virus. You got to head against for the Prophecy matchup. My 3rd Maxi. 2 copies of Golden Match for Dragon Rulers. 2 copies of Vanity's Emptiness for Dragon Rulers. 2 copies of DNA Surgery. DNA Surgery helps me out against Prophecy. With DNA Surgery up, I might change my Prophecy players' monsters to something useful. Let's say Fish. And Star Hall is inactive. They can't play Fate. They can't play Masters, Spellbook of Masters, and they cannot play Spellbook of Power. So this card really wrecks the deck, guys. So think about that. And the last card on my side deck is Imperial Iron Wall, and that wraps it up, guys, for my side deck. Pretty decent, pretty standard, also too. All right, let's get into these rounds, guys. Round 1, I played against an anti-meta deck. I ended up getting that game. We did go 3 games, so that second game, guy, he just really went in with the Thunder King. Next game is round 2, Evil Swarm. I ended up getting that game, guy. The guy in this matchup, guy, for the love of God, I don't understand why would you take material off Ophion, knowing that you're playing Mermail. You would take a material off Ophion and don't make another. Like, he did not make another. Like, he didn't have any plans to make another. He just took it off, just take it off. And then he just swung into a Penguin Soldier. Whatever. He just really took it off, just take it off. I don't understand. Round 3, I played against Dragons. He 2-0'd me, man. I really don't have to say anything about that. You guys are pretty aware of Dragons. Because they did win that event. And big ups to Patrick Hoban for winning Nationals. He's a native at my local, so big up to you, Patrick. Round 4, I played another Evil Swarm guy. He was actually one of my subscribers, and he knew instantly who I was, judging by the mat I played on and the sleeves and the dice that I had. He already knew I was a Water Twin, so pretty cool guy. I ended up getting him. We did go 3 games, but it was decent. Round 5, I played against Dragons. This guy here, Joe Dwaller. Anyway, his name's right there. Dwoller, or whatever his name is. He's a really, really, really nice guy. We just sat around after the match, guys. We just talked for at least about 5 minutes, man, you know, about life and how it's going on, you know, his situation, my situation, and just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. He's a very, very nice guy, guys. I wish I had a lot of opponents just like him, because you just don't see good people nowadays, guys. So he genuinely was a good guy. We had a great match. All the cards were understood. All the plays were understood. I never had a match like that. Well, I have had a match like that, but it's been a very long time since I had one. So big ups to you, Joe. Round 6. All right, round 6, guys. And how can I say this? Round 6, I played Dragons. All right, guys. So game 1 went. It's pretty cool. You know, I drew an average hand. Round 2, he power shuffled my deck. And for lack of better words, I opened crappy. I never opened that crappy before, guys. I mean, like. I don't know. I don't want to go too much into it, guys. But round 6, I was going, because you can go in this event. You could have went X3 and still be able to top. But after playing this guy in round 6, and I just didn't want to. I didn't want to go any further with that, guys. And I'm not the guy to sit here and just blast anybody out on YouTube. But the guy was an ARG member, but I'm not going to say his name or anything like that. Take this in mind. If you're looking at this video and you seen me playing this guy, which I was right next to Billy Break, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because this matchup here was just totally the game two here. It was totally backwards. You know what I'm saying? I never drew cards like I drew with him a day in my life. I never drew that shit. Not even with Mermails. You know, a bad hand with Mermails consists of a Mermail Bitch Lead, a Megalo or two, and you know what I'm saying, something else. You know, it's crazy. I never drew what I drew with him, but I'm not accusing anybody of any kind of cheating or anything like that. I don't really know. All I know is that when I drew the hand, he had the outs, like undoubtedly outs. I mean, like, it's crazy. If you guys really want to know what happened, I mean, you guys can shoot me a message or whatever, and I'll gladly talk about it a little bit for you. But just to be respectable and stuff like that, I have no quarrels with ARG. They're very fantastic, and I like the players that's on their team. Like I said, big up to Patrick Cole. He's a native at my locus, and he's on ARG. He's sponsored by ARG. I don't know what's going on with that. But round 6, guys, I played Dragons. He ended up giving me 2-0, and I just dropped after that, guys. So after that, above all, guys, I did have a very good time. My teammates had a very good time, and we just really enjoyed ourselves at Nats. When you go to National, guys, the event is very important. That's why you're up there. But besides that, guys, you also want to remember to also have fun while you're up there. You're up there with your friends, you know, your family and stuff. Have fun with those guys, especially when we went to the night. This was the Navy period. It was tons of things to do. Like I said, I love the water and I like being on the water. So it was just a ton of things to do, and I had a very good time. But that's my time here, guys. That was my national recap. Rate, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and leave comments, guys. You know, I love answer all the comments. I look at all comments, and I answer all of them also. So if you guys want to hit me up, do so. As far for this summer, I'm reinventing all my decks. That goes from Gitski on up to the Legendary Ocean, all that stuff. I might have another Atlantean build also in there too. So just hit me up, guys. Like I said, those are all future projects that's coming up this summer before the ban list. So I have a month to get all this stuff out to you guys. So hit me up, guys. This is Lord Lunar Prime, aka the Water Twin. I'm out. Peace.